Hello everyone. Now, even though I just featured the Shimakaze quite recently, this game was such an insane nail biter and chat really enjoyed it that I decided to feature it because I got a fair few requests to make a commentary on this one, because this game is close from start to finish. Also, for those that watch my stream, I posted a PO box, an address basically where you guys can send some stuff, and I'm gonna be opening those packages that my viewers have sent me. I'm gonna be opening them on Tuesday. So yes, this upcoming Tuesday, on Turn of Tuesday, I'll be opening all the packages I got. So in case you have sent me anything to that PO box, that is when the opening is happening. As you saw, full tier 10 game, however, no carrier. So obviously I do want to play fairly aggressive into this D camp. I want to scout, I want to give my team information, and of course I want to try to secure this objective for my team. And the goal here is to win the game, obviously, and by pressing fairly aggressively into the cap with the speed boost active, I spot anyone trying to push up around the flank, I give my team vision, they don't have to worry about being ambushed, and so forth. First ship that's spotted is the Hindenburg. This time I'm not running a meme build with F3s, I'm just running my standard build with 12 km torps. In fact, you know what, I'll just put the build at the end of the video so people know what build I'm using, since I always get requests about what my Shimakaze build is, since I do play this ship a fair bit, because even though it's kind of one of the more power crept DDs in the game, I still enjoy it. Because in the hands of a good player, these torpedoes are very strong and the concealment is quite powerful and the gun power is quite underrated. I launch RPF torpedoes, dual purpose in the sense that I want to potentially catch the DD and potentially catch the Hindenburg. However, RPF switches to the north, which actually bothers me a fair bit, because there's a DD in the cap and there's something north, which means there's two DDs here and one of them is very close indeed. And worrying that I might actually get ambushed by whatever is north, and looking at how far back my teammates are sitting, my Montana, my Thunder, they're both 10 kilometers or further away, which is honestly unnecessary. They don't need to be hiding so far, means that I will have very little support if I get rushed. Only the Holland really is here playing the objective. I do land one of the torps. The glory of dual purpose torpedoes is that I might not have hit the DD, but I did catch the Hindenburg with one. So hopefully my team will focus him down and kill him off. If the Hindenburg dies, I can play a lot more aggressively against this DD up here. But as long as the Hindenburg is alive, any fight I take is going to be rough, because the Hindenburg can deal so much damage to me, especially at this range, because Hindenburg shell velocity is excellent, and so of course is that cruiser accuracy. I don't dare to turn north to hunt the DD that is up here, so I decide to reverse towards him. The safer choice makes it easier to disengage in case someone plays aggro. Surprised the Hindenburg still hasn't been blapped. I'm honestly a bit surprised. I tell my Thunder to get back, and I start pinging the north to let him know that there is a DD there. So, pretty straightforward. Please don't go there. Please listen to me and don't push up there. The Hindenburg is still alive somehow. My team really struggling to get any damage in. The Shima and the Captain gets spotted as well, so that's good information. I disengage from the DD. He was a daring. He was briefly spotted in the north. And I launch preemptive triple purpose torpedoes. The idea here is, if the Montana pushes in, I might catch him. If the Shima parks in the smoke, I might catch him, and of course potentially catch the Hindenburg as well. I'm tempted to shoot the Hinden. I'm really tempted, but ultimately this early in a game, trading a lot of DD health for potential damage, I don't even think it would be a kill, just potential damage, is generally not worth it. DD health is incredibly valuable, especially on a DD that doesn't have a heal. So don't just throw it away early game, just hold on to it. It will come in very useful later, and you'll probably see in this commentary in particular why saving the health was absolutely a smart choice. An unfortunate torpedo gap in these torps allows the Montana to slip right through. I keep pinging the Hindenburg, trying to get my team to finish him off. It looks like the damage con the fire. Really just need any teammates to shoot him, but it looks like no one is interested and he gets away. My Montana has disengaged entirely, which is really unfortunate because we could have used his help here. I'm pinging the Thunder to not overextend, and at this point the best thing we can do is with the Holland just kind of double team this Montana. He's pushing aggressively, but the DDs are not pushing as aggressive, which means we can potentially get some good torpedo hits in here. I decide that I want to torpedo from the other angle, so that's why I'm pointing my camera the way I can. You can also just hold down right click or just lock your guns to the sector, but usually when I'm playing, that's the way I like to do it. Just getting my torpedo tubes already turned, so by the time they're reloaded, they are pretty much ready for launch. The legendary mod does slow down the torpedo traverse a fair bit. 8 km away, I start reversing closer. RPF is pointing that way, but I don't know if there's a DD there. You can never know. So it's better to once again play it safer. I launch 2 sets, see if he makes any maneuvers, then launch a third with a bit of a delay. Hopefully he will angle in against the 2 that are already on his way, and he will eat the third one. I start shooting because his guns are pointed away and because why not, and if he turns around to shoot me he will turn into my torpedoes, so I'm kind of baiting him. However, Shima pops up, so naturally I switch to him instead and try to get as much damage in as possible. Montana eats a torpedo, always good. Shima goes dark. Montana eats another torpedo, and I do get some additional hits in on the Shimakaze. It looks like he is about to turn and shoot, so I'm ready with the smoke if he so does, but he doesn't. Don't waste your smoke if you don't need it. In this case, Shima disengages, Montana isn't shooting me. Why would I waste my smoke? I'm under no threat whatsoever. Might as well just keep shooting this Montana. Start a fire, he doesn't apparently have damage con. Basically just farm him as much as I can. Only once his guns start turning my way will I start considering using my consumable, but Holland actually lands great torpedoes, so there is no need for it. Save the consumable, still full HP, dealt 80,000 damage. So far, no real mistakes this game. Just solid, calm positional play, and just basically doing what the Shimakaze does best, and that is punishing ships that try to push into the Shimakaze itself. There is a problem brewing though, namely, well, not just the Montana dying in the center. My team has all gone down to B, but they have not capped A. So they've gone down to B, but they haven't really done a whole lot. Meanwhile, the enemy team has basically capped 3 objectives, and they are building a points lead. And because of that, I have no choice. I need to push back in. My Holland is also pushing. So we're gonna, of course, try to, once again, double team the enemy destroyer. The Shima is still around here somewhere, and if we can spot him, we can absolutely gun him down with the 2 of us. RPF switches, which means that the Holland is actually playing aggressive into C. And that's something I really need to stop. Because if the Holland gets behind my entire team at B, he's just going to be farming them, torping them all game. So it's up to me to stop the Holland. Not exactly an optimal ship for it, considering Holland has so much more damage output than I do, but it has to be dealt with. And he's in fact very, very close to us. RPF letting me know exactly where he is. I'm a bit worried about potential crossfires. I'm pinging his location, give my team some warning of where he is, hoping one of them is paying attention. And then I start closing the distance, trying to catch him out in the open, hoping that my team will help me once I spot him, and I do catch him. The spotting advantage of the Shima allows me to catch him. His guns are pointed the wrong way, and it's time to start dealing damage. 3 ships are targeting me, but I'm using the island in front of me to take cover from most of them. I drop all my torps while my guns are reloading, because it looks like he's trying to nose in tank of some sort, so just throwing out all of them in case he tries to rush me. No one is still shooting him, which is a bit worrying, but only 1 person targeting me, so I hold on to my smoke for now. No one is still shooting, so I'm gonna have to kill off this Holland myself. At this point I know he's gonna die in 2 volleys, so I start smoking up. He's also probably spotted by a ship from behind me. I slow down, kill him off, and go undetected in my smoke. I lost a bit more health than I would have liked, but ultimately getting rid of the Holland was incredibly important for keeping my Thunder alive and keeping my team down south alive. Also, eliminating a DD threat is always good. It did cost me about 13,000 health, but still a net benefit for the team. I leave the smoke instantly. I only needed it to break line of sight. There's no point sitting in a smoke because, first of all, that's exactly where the enemy team last saw you go, and it's also a vulnerable position for potential torpedoes, and I can't really torp anything from there either. You bring no benefit to the team just sitting stationary in a smoke. Yes, you used it. Yes, it's a 2-minute cooldown. Whatever. It was still worth it just to make sure that if the Borgonia comes around the corner or if the Shima keeps me spotted, I don't get instantly blapped. It was a safety measure, and that's what the smoke should be used for. Borgonia pushes up, the Shima has disengaged, so it looks like my Holland will be able to secure the D cap. I can't do really, or honestly, I'm not going to accomplish much up here anymore. My team needs vision in the center. My team needs someone to torpedo the ship in the center, because the Thunder is really the only one providing any sort of spotting in the center right now, and he will struggle to see the stealthier cruisers. So I leave the Holland to his work, and I go down. I go down towards B and start providing vision. I call target on the Hindenburg. I don't want to shoot him. Yes, I could potentially pick up the kill, but it would cost me health. And as I mentioned, Shimakaze health is very, very valuable. Thunder deletes the Hinden, which is perfect. There is a Smolensk in the smoke. I'm not sure how fresh this smoke is, but I launch basically a set of torpedoes that covers the entire smoke. Smolensk is very, very squishy, so even one torpedo is enough to take more than half his HP. So I only really need to land 2 torpedoes. So full set while closing the distance. If the smoke fades and he starts disengaging, or if he's got Hydra running and he sees the torpedoes and leaves the smoke, I want to be able to spot him so my Thunder can potentially shoot him. I'm also providing vision of the Thunder, so I'm trying to keep that angle open so that my team can see him. If you look at my spotting damage, you can see that it's going up all the time. I'm the one giving my team vision of this Thunder. So I'm fulfilling multiple purposes here. I also spot the Smolensk trying to sneak out. He instantly reverses back into his smoke, which is perfect, because that's where my torpedoes are going. The shells take down the Thunder thanks to my spotting, and Smolensk in the smoke gets deleted by my torpedoes. Now I'm calling target. Of course, I want to get rid of the Venezia next, because he's the major threat and he's the one pushing my way. I reverse to try to keep vision of the Venezia. This is important. In no carrier games, you are your team's eyes. You need to provide vision for your team. So I just start keeping him in vision and ping target on him as much as possible, because he should be fairly crossfire. The problem is, if you look at my team down south, they're sitting on the J line, which is obviously not the most effective place to be sitting. He shoots, so I smoke up and start dealing some damage to him. However, sadly, my Thunder gets blapped by the Yamato, which means that this Venezia is going to go dark very, very quickly indeed. I try to get some additional volleys in, and I do in fact get a fire, which is very good, because this Venezia reacts to the fire by damage conning it. If you look at the top right corner, you can see that my damage is no longer ticking. That means he's damaged conned it, which means I launch another set of torps. The idea here is to just land one on his nose, and I do get it, and that's flooding. And the best part about the flooding is that it will slow him down, so he will not be able to catch up to me when I run out of this smoke. If it wasn't for the flooding, he might have caught up to me, but with the flooding, he has no chance of catching up to the fast Shima, even if I'm already out of speed boosts. We're down to 5 versus 5. The enemy has 3 BBs. The planes spot me briefly. I make sure my AA is disabled, and I just keep kiting away. No point trying to kill off those planes. It wouldn't be. It's just better to outrun them. And as I said, Shima health so valuable, because with the Venezia and the Hindenburg, they can't take open water fights against the likes of an Ohio or a Yamato or a Borgonia. They need someone to spot for them while they potentially hide behind islands or smokes or whatever. So the DD staying alive is incredibly valuable in a game like this. They do keep the free cap advantage though, and they have almost 800 points to our 500. They are 2 minutes 30 seconds away from winning, so I don't have a whole lot of time to work with here. The Venezia gets spotted, I call target on him. We need this kill, and we need it badly. I see him start smoking up, so I instantly shoot, because, well, he's the only one who could spot me, and with him smoking up, obviously he's gonna hide me from vision. I turn around and I start chasing him. I want to stay within 10 kilometers of the Venezia, because if he shoots, then obviously his smoke firing penalty will spot him. This is to make sure my Venezia down south can potentially win this fight. RPF switches north, which tells me the Shimakaze is there. So I launch some preemptive torps in case the Shima tries to rush me. The Shima is actually going for the Holland. I call target on him, and I try to get an angle where I can shoot him while at the same time dropping torps on the Borgonia. Just as I switch to guns, the Borgonia deletes the Holland, and we lose vision of the Shimakaze. 900 points to 480. We are in trouble. Launch torps on the Yamato in case he turns in, as I suspect he might. And the Venezia smoke runs out, so I call target on him. One sap volley should be enough to kill this Venezia. I see my Venezia, I figure he's gonna die, but then I see the fact that he's shooting AP. And this is an issue, because with AP and the Venezia angling away like he does, he will never get the kill. So this is where I decide to play a bit of bait, and that is I open fire on the Venezia. The Venezia has his guns turned to the left. If he wants to turn all of them to shoot me, he will have to turn left. And that's exactly what he does. He starts turning left, and my AP shooting Venezia gets to shoot basically a flat broadside enemy, and he does get the kill. I smoke up instantly after, securing this kill. I do, however, eat a significant amount of damage from both of them, and I'm now down to 900 health. However, that kept us in the game very, very closely, not kept us from losing it, because the enemy is still back up to 926 points and climbing towards that 1000 so very, very quickly. This is why I said conserving health is very important, because you never know how you're going to need it later. I tell my Venezia, sap, amore, please use sap, because he's trying to shoot AP at an angled Yamato, and that's never going to be enough to kill him. 946 points on the enemy team, 1 minute away from winning this match. I can't sit in the smoke because I'm the only one providing vision, so I have to leave it to give my team vision of this Yamato. I land a torpedo on the nose of him, take him down to 20k. I saved my third set in case he damage cons, and that's exactly what he does, so I launch a third set. The idea here is, of course, to cause a permanent flooding with him not having damage con active. 33 seconds away, 970 points, we're about to lose this. My Venezia is finally shooting sap, but his aim is a bit questionable and he doesn't really do any damage, and this is where I have to take things into my own hands again. 982 points, 20 seconds away from loss. I aim for the superstructure. The idea here is to start a fire, because I know he doesn't have a damage con. I do start one, I have to angle away, dodge the AP, 990 points, 994, I land a torpedo, 994, they are 2 seconds away from winning at 998 points when my flooding and fire kill him off, and I manage to barely dodge his AP. We stay in the game, hanging on by a thread thanks to that kill. One more tick on any cap would have been enough for the enemy team to win. We, however, still have our hands full. RPF switches, I ping instantly where the DD is, letting my Venezia know that the Shima has repositioned here, hoping that he's paying attention to the minimap. The Ohio looks like he's being taken down by my team on the other side. That is good, it gives us more time. We're still 200 points down, and we still have a lot to do, but now it is doable. I start reversing towards the Shima because I need to have all my guns ready for him, and I need to be able to delete him instantly. I know he's low, we saw his health pool earlier in the fight, but I also know that one shot is enough to kill me. I have to kill him before he kills me, otherwise the game will end. This Borgonia can just run away and potentially win them the game, but I have already predicted that possibility, and I launched my set of torps his way with the idea that really only one torpedo is enough to hopefully secure this Borgonia kill. The torps from the Shima arrive exactly from where I pinged on the minimap, but my Venezia was sleeping and he is actually eating all those torpedoes and getting devastated. However, I did land a torpedo on the Borgonia, taking him down to 24 health, so I ping him repeatedly, trying to get my team to kill him. 993 points again, 997, and we were 3 points away from losing, and my Hindenburg picks up the guy that I torpedoed. And with 1 minute remaining on the match, I catch the Shima. I need to land enough volleys shots to kill him, and I do, just as his shells are mid-air, and we clinch it into a victory. Well, I guess in the end, yes, we clinch it into a victory. 196,000 damage only, which compared to the last Shima game might not be that much. But this game, the enemy team got up to 998 and 997. And both times it was basically so up to one single overpen hitting me, keeping us in the match. And it does turn into a victory, and a very satisfying victory at that. Team score wise, 3,100 base XP, 4 kills, no Kraken, sadly. My Hinden and Harugumo, the last ones alive, on the other side of the map. The Yamato and Holland were actually in a division. I didn't notice that until later on. So another Shima carry, this time with a different set of torps. And this one really highlights how important it is that you don't throw away your health early in the match. You never know how valuable it might become later. It allows you to play differently when you have more health to spare. It allows you to bait things like securing that Venezia kill, just shooting him. I was hoping to kill him, of course, but I was also playing around the fact that if my teammate Venezia doesn't understand to use sap, you know the saying about you can lead a donkey to the water, but you can't make him drink. Well, in this case, I kind of redirected the river, and it worked out working very, very well. Detailed report-wise, only 51,000 spotting, not really that much for a DD game, but the spotting was extremely valuable when it did happen. Damage taken, 20.4k, which very close to our max health, of course. 113k torpedo damage with another 46,000 HE shell damage again. I always say the guns are very powerful and not to underestimate them, and this game was an example as I did gun down both the Holland and the Shimakaze in this one. Shimakaze is still a strong ship. It's just the single most popular DD in the game, which also means that there is a whole lot of misplays happening in this ship on a daily basis. But when played correctly, it can be very, very powerful. Not perhaps as powerful as some other DDs, but that doesn't mean that it can't carry games. Anyway, this time I'm actually going to show you guys my recommended build because I did kind of skip it the last time. Right, as always, let me start off by showing you guys the equipment. 12 km torps are my highly recommended torpedoes. I think they are the most usable, especially with all the 12 km radars in the game, potential carrier spotting and so forth. Just getting those extra 4 kilometers compared to the F3s is well worth the trade-off. Torpedo and turret survival, of course. Improved speed boost. This thing has gotten nerfed repeatedly, but it's still the best thing you can put here. If you don't have it, run engine room protection because keeping engine and steering alive is important. Torpedo tubes mod. For obvious reasons, it reduces the chance of them breaking as well as improving the speed. Faster acceleration, because, well, you saw what I did a lot in this game, and that was reverse towards the opponent to try to spot him, and then when spotting, being able to accelerate quickly to disengage, or potentially just keeping him in vision. Concealment, naturally, and I do like the legendary upgrade after they buffed it. Some people find it more comfortable to play with just the normal torpedo tubes. That is fine. I do like the small extra reload bonus that you get from it. I think it's worth the trade-off. That's how I've been playing it basically ever since they buffed the upgrade. Captain-wise, running a Weeb captain because chat are very, very into Shimakaze in particular. Regardless, the build is still the same. Priority target, last stand, survivability expert, and concealment expert. As always, you start by building survivability. I always do this in DDs. You start by building survivability. It's more important to stay alive to find opportunities to deal damage than to build full damage and then die before you get opportunities to use it. So you start by building survivability. Build torpedo armament expertise next, follow it with adrenaline rush, and the last 4 points into radiolocation. Radiolocation is fantastic, but I still don't think it's still a 4-point perk, and it's a heavy investment, and you can take it earlier than these two if you so choose, and it will take you some learning to actually utilize it. You did see how much advantage it gave me this game, how much it basically pointed out where the enemy DDs were coming from, allowed me to ambush both of them successfully. So the perk is stupidly powerful. I still think it's one of the strongest perks Wargaming has ever added into the game because, well, it literally just, well, it gives you radiolocation. It tells you exactly where the enemy ship is. But it does take some getting used to using it, but once you master this skill, it will probably give you more information than any other skill you have in the game. Exception perhaps being priority target, which for a one-pointer is, I think, insanely valuable. Flag-wise, detonation, flooding chance, actually detonation, speed, and probably faster consumables. That's the holy grail of basic DD build. After that, fire and flooding chance are great, especially since you do want to use your guns a fair bit. AA, I think I'm running it more for the memes than anything. AA isn't exactly impressive on the Shima. Reduced fire is mostly because when you do get set on fire, it does increase your detectability a fair bit. Overall, these flags are not nearly as important as the first few combat flags I mentioned. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you like the content, feel free to subscribe. I do enjoy seeing my numbers go up because, well, that's kind of an encouragement that, hey, you're kind of doing the right thing, YouTuber guy. Regardless, Tuesday will be package opening. I'll post a highlight on it on YouTube as well, since I know people are interested in seeing what kind of weird stuff people are sending me. But that was all from me. I'll talk to you guys next time.